Hello, my friends. We are live on the Ceratizit booth today. We are with my friend Tony and my other friend Andrea. Now, we're going to do a live stream to 500,000 people around the world, but also the audience can ask questions as well. So if any of you out here in the audience have questions for Vac Motorsports, the superstar Tony, or Andrea, whether it be tooling, cars, or anything in between, you are more than welcome. If you guys get nervous about asking questions, I got a whole sheet of cards right here. So we're going to have some fun today. Tony, first of all, let me just ask you one question. What happened just now?
Man, that's all by design. We're not supposed to start that, and I just want to get some attention. So
yeah? Let me just double check, make sure your mic is on. Mic check, mic check. There you go. That's a good one for the audience out here. You're good to go. This one's for your interweb, so all 500,000 people across all social media can find you. Andrea, we're going to pass it to you in just a second, but Tony, I have to ask you, because I know people are curious. I've ridden in the cars with you, Vac Motorsports, absolutely famous. I've been into your shop. I've seen what you're doing with the 6-flute end mills, cutting through titanium. But the first thing I have to ask is, how long have you been into racing? Because you made me car sick last time we were together.
Well, I mean, that's always the intention, is to make you sick.
I bet it is.
It's really like I've been into cars since I was a child, actually. And it started with like NASCAR, kart racing back in the day, IndyCar, rally, world rally, and all that stuff. So the first car that I actually ever built was a VW that ran in the WRC, basically, well, let's say the Middle East Championship. So that ran 94 to 96. That was sponsored by Valvoline, and that car won the championship in 1996. So domestically on this side, I built my first car, a tube-frame car, in 1996, got licensed in 1996, ran SCCA. The car behind us was actually the first BMW E46 in racing on the planet. We bought it in February off the showroom floor. One lap around the block into the shop, and from there it was like 2 months and we were racing. So that's really what, you know, it ran in Speed World Challenge at that time, and it was driven by some notables. I wouldn't consider myself a notable, but like somebody like Eric Curran, Davy Jones of, you know, IndyCar at that time. And we still use it for club racing, NASA, BMW Club, and stuff like that. It's a fun car. It's a good marketing tool, but we also prove all our parts on our cars.
You know, one of my favorite things about you, Tony, is when I ask you a question, you talk for long enough time to make me think about what the answers are going to be. We're going to pass the microphone over to Andrea because we want you both to share the spotlight. Andrea, hopefully you've gone through these questions and we're not surprising you today, but if you are surprised, have fun with it, right?
No problem.
Now, what we've noticed already with Tony talking is we want to make sure you speak into that silver microphone above the other one. Even though I usually promote MTDCNC, this is about Ceratizit today, which is most important. And let's make sure we speak into that silver mic so the audience, everyone around here can actually hear us. And I think Angie and everyone's going to be happy when you do that, yeah? So your first question, talk a little bit about how you got into this business and what's your background. I have spent time with you again at Vac Motorsports. That was one of the first questions I asked you, and this is one profound answer, so I cannot wait for the audience out here to hear what you have to say as well.
So I started at 19. I was in college, needed a job. My friend was working in a machine shop, and he said, come work for us, be a shipping clerk. First week there, fiery German man is running the shop, comes in kicking buckets, all mad because the guys in the shop couldn't get anything. The guys in the shop couldn't get anything done. So he handed me a print, said, can you find out this angle here? I worked through it. He said, you're fired, and now you're rehired as my apprentice. So that's how I started in machining. 12 years, I ran an aerospace machine shop. So that's how I got it done.
That was good. Now you're good.
Yep.
So, all right, we're going to move on to, we're going to go back and forth. I actually went into the audience because people were asking me questions. Like, no, ask them, because we want more people to get the audience questions. I'm also going to check my phone, see if anything's coming in online. But in the meantime, pass those microphones over. We had a couple of noise glitches, but I think that was my fault. I want to make sure everyone's taken care of here. Tony, when did you realize you had to make your own parts to go? Who wrote these questions? He was probably doing that in diapers, for crying out loud. Tony, I know you were making parts to go faster when you were running around your living room.
Well, you know, initially I was more fabricator than machinist. But as we were building race cars, we discovered that really, like, some of the items that we needed were becoming too expensive on the manufacturing side. So, for example, if you were to look in the car behind us, you'll see what we call floor mount adapters on the seat, underneath the seat. So BMW makes, these, they're street cars. You go to take the factory seat out and put a race car in, and we were having to do 5-6 hours worth of fabrication, cutting the sheet metal. You can't reverse that process. So if somebody decides that they want to turn it back into a street car, that wasn't going to happen. So I said, you know what, we need to make a bolt-in solution. Came up with these floor mount adapters. So I tried subcontract. And, 2 weeks became 2 months, 2 months became 6 months. And then that's when we had to make the decision, and we bought our first CNC machine in 2000.
That was when you, because I've been into your original shop and now into your new expanded shop. Congratulations, by the way. That was when you bought your first CNC?
In 2000, yes.
Ah, very good. All right, pass those mics back over. Andrea, we got you back on the mic again. Last time we spoke, you said to me, I don't want to be on camera. How are you feeling right now, live to 500,000 plus people?
I don't think I have much of a choice anymore.
No?
So.
No,
it's all good.
Your colleagues said you're doing it?
Pretty much.
All right. Well, since you didn't look at these cue cards ahead of time, wink, wink. Your second question is, I know this answer. You want me to answer this one? I'm just kidding, Andrea. This is for you. Why is Ceratizit a good fit for Tony and Vac Motorsports?
We have a full lineup of everything that he needs, from fixturing, work holding, right to all the different cutters and end mills that he uses. I mean, pretty much anything he needs, we've got. Plus, he's got me too, so,
Most importantly.
Most importantly.
Well, I'm going to expand on that a little bit because I was with you guys when we were doing some filming, and the way that you guys were able to get through that titanium at such high rates without issue on that Grobe machine, which was his new machine he had just invested in, and then we walked around and saw Ceratizit products everywhere based on what he's doing. I mean, you guys, when I was talking with Tony, what he said to me was, I need that partner that's going to help me not just be a generic end mill going into my machine. I need to reduce cycle time. I need longer tool life. I need to be able to do multiple processes inside of my machine. And that's what you guys offer, isn't it?
It's true. I mean, him and I work together, and the communication is huge. I know what he's got problems with. He's telling me, so I can solve them right down to the minute, whatever's going on. So it helps. It's more than just the tool. It's us working as a team.
Yeah, like you said, he's got you.
Yeah, that's right.
You going to sing for me while live to 500,000 people? I Got You, Babe. Do you know that song?
Absolutely not.
I Got You, Babe. Yeah, nobody wants to hear that. All right, pass those
He might do that.
Tony might do it. He'll join me for karaoke. I'm sure of it. All right, Tony, your third question. When did your passion for racing turn into a business?
Well, I guess, when you start racing, you need money.
That is so true.
And, I was always business-minded. The racing, I didn't race to make it a business, but yes, at some point it turns into that. So it didn't take long. Really, when the internet became the thing, we were racing before, websites were even there. So once the websites kicked in, we figured, okay, well, we're manufacturing product. I'm an international person anyway. I'm Lebanese born, been in this country since I was 8 years old. But I still have family there, so I travel. I know people, different parts of the world, and we were importing parts from Germany, the Netherlands, and different parts of the world, the UK. So I figured, you know what, my idea was let's maybe a boring name for a website, Across the Pond. I figured maybe we can represent on both sides. So that's really when we started, tying everything together. We represent a company called Arrow Precision. They make fantastic parts in the UK, and German companies again. So I'm familiar with the marketplace from a manufacturing, from a sales. And so I would say really officially, probably right around 2000, 2001 when we kicked off the website.
That makes sense to me.
That's when it really became the thing for us.
2 follow-up questions, though. Well,
Yep.
One's a question, one's a statement. One, thank you for offering that delicious Lebanese meal you took us to. Andrea, we loved that, didn't we? Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. So thank you for that. And 2, we discussed you and I going to Lebanon. When's that going to happen?
Me and you, or who? All of us?
All of us. All of us. If we're going to invite everyone.
Agent?
All 500,000 plus followers right now.
Who's your travel agent? Let's do it.
All right, pass that microphone on over. I'm glad we got that out of the way. We're going to book for December, I think. All right, Andrea. What is the most difficult part you have helped someone machine?
Oh, it would probably be some of the Inconel and titanium parts that we've done.
All those super alloys can get difficult.
That's exactly right. So it's not one particular part, it's mostly the material, but you get through it, make it work. people are happy afterwards. So.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
I have personally broken a lot of end mills and caught a few things on fire while playing in the super alloys myself. Have you ever seen something like that?
In titanium, yes.
In titanium, yes, absolutely.
The endless fire.
I'm going to go ahead and check these comments. All right, we're going to make sure that everyone is caught up to what's going on. And in the meantime, if you want to pass those back over. Do you think people still want to hear from you, Tony? I think so. You know, you do this on your own, on your very famous Instagram page all the time. Your social media marketing is doing really well, by the way.
They do well?
Yeah.
I have a good team.
Yeah, you do.
Not quite as good as yours. We're learning.
Well, I'm certainly not going to throw them under the bus at the moment. They're doing amazing. So I'm going to agree with you right now and say that your team is also doing a wonderful job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Tony, what advice would you give your younger self?
My younger self? Oh, man. Look, I put in a lot of hours. I tried. If I had to do it over again, I would probably start in manufacturing a little bit earlier.
Really?
Yeah.
You already started this. Well, you started your business at a very young age, but it was all in like car repair and build and things like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, as an 8-year-old, I was being dragged to work with my dad. Immigrant parents or slave drivers. So. Started working at the age of 8, learning mechanical. So that quickly became my thing. I would fix, literally, if you were driving down the streets of South Philly, you would see like legs sticking out from underneath the car on jack stands, doing work. So when I got into high school, that was still my thing, And when I was in high school, before there was online, back then they used to call them correspondence classes. So they would mail you your books. You would do your exams. So I actually got certified in engines, automatic transmissions, and HVAC, automotive HVAC, when I was like 16 years old. I went to Temple for engineering and business. 2 years in, I had an opportunity to buy the business, or a year in, and the workload became too much. I started out as a body shop, although I was a mechanic, so I had to learn that. But, my background, the engineering background from Temple, allowed me to build this car and do roll cages and build them properly. So, I don't know. If I had to do it over again, I just wish I just started younger. And I don't know how much younger you could start.
No, but it sounds like you like it, which is a good thing. If you
I love
started
it.
younger,
I
it's
love
obvious
it.
that you love it.
It's all with passion.
Yeah. All right, go ahead and pass those mics over. Andrea, I've already asked you the difficult question of the part, right? What's your most difficult part? So now I'm going to follow up with what is your favorite material to machine, and how about the challenges with aluminum?
It's aluminum. It's everybody's favorite. It's the easiest and you can go the fastest. It looks like rapid machine gun fire in a machine when you really get it going well. So it's aluminum. What was the second part?
Well, that second part is the aluminum. The first part, what's your favorite? What is your absolutely favorite to plow through? Is it also aluminum?
Yeah.
So aluminum twice. Okay, well, if it is your favorite, then what are the challenges that come with aluminum? Or in some people in the UK, as we're UK based, aluminium. Anyone say aluminium here?
Aluminium.
That's not how we say it, aluminum. What are some of the challenges with aluminum? I would say if you don't run with coolant, it gets real sticky real fast.
Yeah, you won't have an end mill left.
You won't have an end mill left.
Yeah, it solders it to it.
Make sure your coolant is topped off.
If you're running it right, there's no problems.
Well, I got one question left for each of you, and then I'm going to start asking my own random wild questions, so get ready for that.
Okay.
Who knows what's coming? I think Angie put me to the test. Where'd Angie go? Angie, you started trouble now wherever you went. All right, pass those microphones over. Tony, here's your last one. That was actually written down for me that you guys prepped for before I just get excited and ask my own questions. I see Andrea's always like, don't do that, Tony. Don't do that. I know you too well already. All right, my friend, what values do you look for when choosing a partner for your business?
Well, first is always quality for me. I don't know if you noticed one of the banners in our shop. It says like VAC, quality first. It's always quality. The next is trustworthy. So you have to have a trustworthy partner who's dependable and that can do what they say they're going to do. I don't have to go beyond that. They're the two most important things. If you have quality and you have trustworthiness with your partner, chances are it's a success.
Would you say that VAC Motorsports is that type of partner for the people you work with?
For the most part. Nobody's perfect.
I would say
Nobody's perfect, yes. I hope so. I hope to be. That's what we strive to be.
You don't want to do a humble brag for me real quick? You want me to do it for
you? Do it. I'm not good at it. Do it.
That's what I know about you as well, is that you will not, so I will do it for you. Definitely quality, definitely reliability. VAC Motorsports is known for that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten your darn car and gone 1,000,000 miles an hour around the racetrack because I wouldn't have trusted you.
There you go. Trust. I said trustworthy.
And I also wouldn't say I'm going to Lebanon either. All right, pass those mics over. Last question before I throw you both way under the bus, back up the bus, and do it again, which I know you both love. I'm not really going to do that to you. But last question for you, Andrea. What is your favorite sports car? Did you prep for this one? You better say VAC Motorsports car right behind you.
It definitely is.
Yeah? Well, what is it really?
I think my favorite sports car is the one that I drive.
Which is?
It's my brand new Maserati.
Okay.
I bought a Maserati Grecale about 2 months ago. Ooh, she's fun.
And are you going to take it around the track with Tony?
We might. We might. A little track day. We'll have a good time with her.
I think she wants to do that on that MTDCNC track day is what I think she told me earlier.
So, Tony, let's talk about that real quick because I want people to get excited. We are going to have a track day, aren't we? And we want people to be involved. We know Ceratizit is going to be involved. We know MTDCNC is going to be involved. We're going to get people together, the community together who wants to be a part of racing. Let me just give a shout out to my friend Logan Saunders as well because he's out there in St. Louis ready to join you right now. Right. So, when are we putting that track day together, and what does that look like for everyone who might want to participate?
Well, I mean, probably realistically, if we want to involve a lot of people, let's plan it for the spring. We could do something for the fall, but if we're going to make it a big hit, I mean, my thought was it could be MTDCNC, it could be a VAC event, but it really should be more aimed at manufacturing to do what you promote and what we promote. So we can get our partners on board, we can get this done. You know, people that haven't driven can go on, like, you know, ride with professional drivers. And for the people that have driven, we can give them availability to go on track and drive around on their own.
I mean, that sounds incredible. So we've said it live now. Everyone's watching. It's
official.
It's official. It is absolutely. I mean, I did it once on the podcast. Now it's legitimately official. I'm going to ask you one more question before we pass this over to Andrea to close out this entire live stream. And one thing that wasn't brought up today that I think is important because we are sitting on the Ceratizit booth. You do have incredible people behind you, around you, and you've worked with them for a while. You've been proud enough to go onto videos all over the place to do the video that's right behind us right now. Sit with Andrea. Yeah, you're all over the place with Ceratizit. So there must be some type of relationship when it comes to Ceratizit that matters with you. And I'm a big fan of sharing our hearts and sharing what matters to us when we continue to grow and expand as you now positioned yourself again as a continued growing leader with VAC Motorsports, investing in a new facility that's 2, 3, 4 times the original size. When you partner with someone like Ceratizit, what does that mean to you, other than just being able to spend time with Andrea?
Well, look, I mean, I have to be honest. The first time I met them, it was very friendly across the board. I think the first time I truly met the team was at East Tech. We went out to dinner. They made me feel right at home right from the first minute. I get comfortable easy anyway, but, you know, I made myself at home. At that time, we were drinking some sake. You know how they do it with the little boy, you know?
Kampai.
Uh-huh. And you know, with my Middle Eastern drinking skills, we could drink from that pitcher. That guy got tired of pouring sake down my throat. And I think that kind of broke the ice. But I couldn't be more lucky to be associated with a company like Ceratizit, you know, top down, Dan down, without naming individuals. So, you know, Dan Cope and everybody on down. I feel like family. This isn't work for me. It's a pleasure. I feel like I'm working with brothers and sisters, and that's what I like.
I agree completely. And I see Dan back there doing a good job. Dan, by the way, you want to put your hand up, Mr. Dan Cote? There you are. Yes, yeah, the man right there. All right, Andrea, last question before we turn this whole thing off. I have asked you this question before, so I'm not completely throwing you under the bus. It is something you and I have shared, and I think it's important because we have an audience right now, and it's not just you and I, that you have a moment to share what manufacturing means to you, because you and I have spent time together, and I had that question. What does it mean to you? Sometimes you've gone into places where you felt like you were underestimated, and you proved how incredible you are. I've seen it firsthand myself. Absolutely love it. But what as a whole does this industry mean to you as we are now currently at the Super Bowl of manufacturing at IMTS 2024? What does manufacturing mean to you?
It means everything. I've done it my whole life. I know nothing else. It's what I'm most comfortable doing, and I enjoy it. The different customers every day, they're friends, it's family, it's home. And I love everything about it, so.
That's absolutely right. I'm going to thank you both very much for being on this live stream, being brave enough to join me on camera, which can be terrifying at times. Tony, we're going to get this car running. We're going to drive it out of here, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. We're going to drive it out for sure.
I didn't want to get too close to the speakers. That's the end of the live stream, my friends. This is Vac Motorsports. This is Ceratizit. This is Tony. This is Andrea. Hope you all enjoyed this live stream to learn a little bit more how they work together, what racing is like. If you have any further questions, leave it in the comments. We can follow up again later. We appreciate every single one of you watching. Time is the one thing we cannot manufacture more of. So if you spent it with us, we truly appreciate you sharing that time. Thank you all, and we'll see you again soon.